Good morning, sisters and brothers. As we want to be a people who are rabidly Jesus focused, where we're just going hard after Jesus, it's good to spend time with Him. So let's just walk through John chapter 4 today, the beginning of that passage. And so Jesus is in Galilee, which is in the north. And in verse 4, it says, Now he had to go through Samaria. Normally, a Jewish person would bypass Samaria, go around, but he had to go. The King James says he must needs to go through Samaria. There's an urgency, there is a compelling, there's a motivation, there is an energy, something calling him to go through Samaria. And so he does, and they come to a place that is Jacob's well. The disciples go on to buy food, and there he sits alone because he's tired, because he's not superhuman. Sure, he's 100% God, but he's also 100% you and me, and we get tired, and he is tired. And a woman shows up, a Samaritan woman shows up, and it's noon. And he asked her to give her a drink, to draw some water from the well for him. And she points out the deep resentment between them, this racial hatred, and this sexism that's enrolled here, right? Like it's he's a man, she's a woman. That doesn't, this kind of conversation doesn't happen there. He's a Jew, she's a Samaritan. Samaritans are half breeds to a Jew, and in fact they say one rabbi said, "Hey, to eat the bread of a Samaritan is like eating the flesh of pork," which to us would be saying like eating the flesh of a rat. Right? And here he has this encounter with her. He says, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. Mayim, chayim is what he says, which is literally like rushing water. It's not the stagnant water that's in a cistern. It is a flowing, moving, clear, fresh water. But it's also Mayim Kayim. This is a phrase that Jewish people would use to describe some fresh encounter with God. You know, some moment in prayer where you just feel His presence, and you would say, "Hey, this is Mayim Kayim." But he's also talking in a deep metaphor about what we really thirst for. She says, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with. The well is deep. Where can you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well and drank it from it himself?" She's thinking very literally here, and he's playing in this metaphor of us being deeply thirsty and there being some kind of living water. He goes on to say, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again." It's the water in the well. It says, "But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." Don't think heaven. Think life with God now and forever. Welling up to life with God. Life the way it was supposed to be with God now and forever. And she says, "Sir, give me this water, right? So I won't be thirsty anymore." Here's the thing, we're all thirsty. Right? We are all thirsty for meaning in our life, for belonging, purpose, inner wholeness, and freedom. We are profoundly thirsty. And honestly, we go to all kinds of wells to fill that thirst, to sate that thirst, right? There are all kinds of good wells. It could be romance. It could be the relationship we're in. It could be family. It could be power. It could be success. It could be fame. Any of those things, and not all of them are inherently bad, but all of them will let us down. None of them will quench our thirst, ultimately. Jesus says, "I'm it. I'm the one ultimate thing. If you make me your well, everything else will be satisfied. And you will have life, and life to the full, now and forever with me." Grace and peace, my friend.